So guys, it's David here and it's currently day 392. I hope you guys are doing well and like always are doing better than yesterday. I was sitting here in this table meditating this morning, and as I was meditating I had this very vivid image. There was three of them actually. The first one, I was in this beachside mansion for looking over this vast ocean. It was a beautiful scene. Didn't last long though. The second scene, I was in a theater. I was in a theater and it was as if I was watching a movie of some sort, but I wasn't sure of what. Now, the third scene, which I cannot really remember, it was me watching myself in a third person point of view. It was me watching myself of me watching the movie. Now, these three vivid things during my meditation doesn't happen quite frequently. And the times that they do happen, I tend to encounter them on accident. You see, I always had a trouble to visualize of different possibilities of my life. And I do believe today in my meditation, these three specific vivid things I have saw was my own different personalities in this endless realities, right? This endless possible realities. Now, to see these possibilities of my life brings me great pleasure simply because that it motivates me. It lets me see that I have different roads to go in life. And each choice I make today will push me towards these different realities that I am seeing in my meditation session. So I could either work towards a certain set of actions that will set me towards my reality where I am sitting or standing in this beachside mansion, far seeing this beautiful ocean. Or I could be sitting in a theater watching a movie, which is perhaps my past. Well, actually, quite literally my past. The past I hated myself for. So these scenes of myself were shown to me through meditation was a hint, right? Was a hint, was a guide, whatever you like to call it. It is something to remind myself that there is a greater version of me out there in this vast universe. There's this David out there sitting in this mansion, watching the ocean breeze, the waves hitting the rocks. There is this David out there. And this gives me hope. This gives me hope, and it doesn't come to me frequently. And I'll tell you why it doesn't come to me frequently in a second. But we have to first understand such vivid imagery is important for us to take to account because it tells us that there is a version of us out there, that this is our reality. And the only thing separating yourself from attaining this self is a set of actions, a set of habits and behaviors that you have to accompany yourself with in order to reach this highest state of life. Now, to have these visions, and it is important to have these visions because it gives you hope. Now, these visions doesn't come to me quite frequently is because a lot of the times I am not present. A lot of the times my mind is somewhere out in the vast, endless universe, right? It is somewhere in the past, or it is somewhere worrying about this unhappened future. And I tend to spend a great deal of my energy worrying about the former and the latter, which gives me no presence. It gives me no energy to think about what truly matters and is to develop a present strategy to reach this higher version of myself. And when you don't have time in the present, you're not going to have the energy to create your future self, your highest state of self. But in order for me to have such vision during meditation, or perhaps to have such visions when I sleep at night, or even perhaps have such visions, if I'm fortunate, during my working hours. To have such vision, I found that if I remain disciplined to stay fasted without consuming a lot of carbs, then there's a slight possibility that I will have a chance to experience such vision. I tend to have great success when I stay fasted during my meditations in the mornings as I awoke, as it is such times that I do not cloud my clarity. It is during such times that I am able to stay present. And I suggest you guys do the same if you have trouble remaining present, if you have trouble staying focused and clear. Because without having a clear mind, you are going to have some trouble to have such vivid imagery. You are going to have trouble trying to formulate this strategy, this plan to reach your higher self. So fasting has been one tool in my arsenal that has helped me greatly during meditation to find such imagery. But what it also has helped me is to keep clear during the day in my present state to work towards tasks with a sharper mind. However, there is a downside to being fasted, and that is obviously you're running low on energy. Yes, being fasted is good, but over a prolonged time, you will start to realize the magic of being fasting starts to wear out. There will be some days during your morning hours where you feel like you don't have any energy. You feel like you're drained, and you feel like the magic of fasting stops. But this is all where everything as such that is related to novelty starts to wear out. After a few weeks, you no longer have this high of trying something new. Habits starts to form, behaviors starts to become automatic, and sooner or later this just becomes another part of your living. So in a sense, fasting stops you from feeling great as if you had first fasted. But if you don't fast, if you don't resist having heavy carbs until later of the day, then there is something for certain that you will start to feel as if your mind is not coherent. You will start to feel the urge of complacency. And sooner or later, that will become a habit where you begin to prioritize pleasure before reward. You'll start to prioritize short-term highs over long-term satisfaction. So we can either pick to fast or not fast, and I cannot say or perhaps force you guys to do either or. But what I do suggest is that being fasting, at least delaying it till midday, will allow you to have the mornings till the afternoons to really hone in on the possibilities to find your vivid imagery of the quantum field, or whatever you like to call it, the vast universe, the endless possibilities, because there is such thing. And there is such thing because I have seen different reality of myself, and certainly the only thing that is stopping my present from reaching either side of my future self is a set of habits and behaviors that I can find only when I have my most clearest mind and when I am present.